Duke seems to be the team that I still think is the best of the four. They're playing that way. They're playing all these things. You made a point last night on the Showdown, which was a good one. They all know how to play defense. We talk about offense all the time. People score. You know, Alabama had over 100. Duke had over 100. They met, and Duke silenced Alabama. They had 25 three-pointers in the previous game. They made that many. So they were aware of that, and they clamped down.
Well, their length on the perimeter is insane. It's hard to get those shots off. Or, you know, if you remember the Pitt game against Duke, and you got so frustrated because Jalen Lowe just couldn't get into the paint, like he couldn't do anything because their defense is so good. Well, it turns out it wasn't just a Pitt problem. It's an NCAA problem because of that length. And then, you know, they have enough offensively, and they have role players. I mean, they've got a little bit of everything, which makes Duke an outlier. I use that word again, but it was a bad year for the ACC, but Duke is a hell of a basketball team.
They really are. One team that has been victimized, and there are a lot of them. I saw that Indiana lost all of their team. Every one of them transferred. Robert Morris now, after that very good season for Andy Toole, is going to have to retool a bit because their two top players. Is it more than that? I heard as many as 5 would be transferring.
I think it's 6.
6.
Guys that played significant roles, the 5 starters and then another guy.
I mean, I know you got to go out and replenish it and go after it again, but boy, that's hard. As a coach, you've instilled something in a team that you think can be good. All those guys have at least another year left, and they choose to go to greener pastures, which is fine, but sooner or later there's going to have to be something that changes in this.
You would hope so, but as a coach, you just have to say, okay, I just need to pretend that era didn't exist. Like all of that history didn't exist, and this is the world we're living in. And Andy Toole did a good – listen, 2 of the guys that played key minutes for him, including the Horizon League Defensive Player of the Year, was in D2 last year.
Right.
So now you're going to go poach from those programs that have tried to build what they're doing, but it's great opportunities for the players. I mean, I don't begrudge the players.
Nor do I.
Amari Dickerson for getting an opportunity to go from D2, from Omo Jaffo from going to Gannon to playing in the NCAA tournament. Like, that's awesome. They didn't have those chances to do that. It's just what sucks for us as fans is, at least in college, you felt like when a guy was a freshman, oh, I can't wait. At least I get a couple more years with this guy.
Right.
You know,
you develop an interest, and you invest in what they have because you know these guys. You see what progress they've made. And now if they have a lot of progress, chances are they're not going to be around.
And if you're a coach and you think, okay, I'm going to take this freshman, I'm going to work with him, and by his junior year, he's going to be a really good player. Well, you may not get that opportunity. I mean, think about all the years where Jamie just wouldn't play freshman because he wanted to work with him. Well, that just doesn't work anymore.
No, and he only got 1 year with Steven Adams. He should have played him a lot more.
It sucks for coaches because you recruit all the time.
But I don't feel bad for coaches because they're being paid an awful lot of money.
I feel bad.
Unfortunately, this is the system now.
But not every coach is making crazy money.
No.
Like coaches say in the Horizon League that aren't making crazy money, but they have to recruit their players every single day. Because even though when you're not outside recruiting, you're trying to keep those guys internally. Then you have to go to the donors and ask for money. I mean, it's just it's a different job from the one, which is why you've seen so much turnover from the guys that instead of being a teacher and a coach, now it's almost like you're a salesman and a coach.
Right. And Jeff Capel's facing that again this year. He's had some guys, and he may have more leave. And so he's going to have to go. And you know Jeff very well. That's one of the problems with being the coach today. But again, I still think, Jeff, there has to be some sort of change in how this is being handled. You just can't let it be floodgates left and right every year.
At some point, I think you have to make them employees so they have a contract.
Sign a contract, right.
And they can get out of that contract, but there are stipulations. Like if the coach leaves or whatever, like you can't just – I mean, when you go to work somewhere, do you have the ability to leave whenever you want? Sure, technically, but – there's got to be some type of no compete or something to just make it more watchable as a fan. Because I think it's really going to backfire to where fans just won't be as interested because they don't know who the players are.
All right, of the 4 teams, who do you like? I still ride Duke. I think Duke is the best team of the 4, although I can make a case for every single one of them.
I picked Houston, so I'll stick with Houston. I love their defense.
Austin, who do you like?
I picked Duke at the start of the year, and they just look like they're on a different level compared to everyone else. They look dominant in their games. I got Duke winning it all.